Episode 7 of The Red Ranger Becomes an Adventurer in Another World is actually, I think, probably the one that has the most action so far, but it doesn't kind of add in multiple scenes, which is absolutely fantastic to me because it makes this, from what I remember, going off it quite quickly. So let's do this. So this episode adds in a lot more lore and kind of adds brand new characters, which I absolutely love. And it also brings in the Kamen Rider effect. Episode 7 is actually probably one of the better episodes because it gives a lot of lore to what's happening and what is to come, and a little bit of maybe foreshadowing to bring in an extra character. Now, this pretty much is easy. It's not a lot that goes on. It's literally maybe a couple of scenes and it's just all action, which I generally think is one of the best ones. We're introduced to a brand new character called Rania, which I will probably refer to as Sphinx Relief because it's cool. I like the name a lot. So in the last episode, we saw the adventurers walking the desert, to get to this oasis to talk to the elves because I think they need something. I think it's like a magical thing. It's been a while since I've seen the episodes, but as they're talking at the very beginning, they're saying like, oh, maybe the elves know about the great hero that happened such a long time ago, and that's like kind of a main focus. And I think I know who one of them is, which is not that hard to figure out. When they get to this giant forest, which is made of cacti, we see Red talk about the time that his friend Yellow actually had a cacti and like he just insulted her, which is, I think, was saying like, oh, you're prickly just like that cacti, which then makes Yellow just go absolutely like annoyed and then like kind of like does the whole cheek thing. Red is reminiscing and he's smiling because of this, but the girls go, do you know what, it's too hot in here, and they take off the kind of walking outfits to reveal like swimsuits or bathing suits, and you can tell that Yidra has her normal one, which is fine, and Taltina is in kind of like a one-piece one, which looks kind of cool. Logi and the boys like this, they reference it. As soon as Yidra does a spin, she hurts herself on her wedding ring hand, like her wedding finger. So Red decides to put a plaster around it because healing magic might not do the best. You've also got like bacteria, you don't want to get infected. I generally thought that healing magic would also get rid of the bacteria, but we're learning something about this universe a little bit more every single time. So Red puts on a plaster and Yidra's like, oh my god, it's like a wedding ring. You put a wedding ring on me? Oh my god, oh my god. And she gets kind of like flustered because she realizes that she likes Red, and we've seen that in the previous episode. So Red says like, yeah, the plasters, you've always got to have one. Product placement. This is what the bond plates were kind of like based on, which I kind of saw it in the first few episodes, but it's kind of cool to have this kind of confirmed. And then out of nowhere, for some strange, bizarre reason, we have this guy that just like swoops in, picks her off, and then starts spanking her as they're flying away. And Red transforms. He tries to use his abilities to fly after, but it just doesn't work because the wind sucks in all the needles and kind of hurts him. So he's like, nah, I'm just going to run it. I'm just going to chase after you. And that's it. Yeah, we get kind of a flashback to the previous episode where they are making a sort of gem to call Red at any point. It's where the mana is able to have him teleport with an emergency warp. So she summons Red. Red then knocks out the guy quite quickly. And yeah, he has like broken English, which I absolutely love. But with this, they kind of find out a little bit more information. Meanwhile, back at Taltina and Logi, they're kind of being attacked by elves that are using the spikes, I'm talking very quickly on here, and using them as arrows, which I generally thought was a kind of really cool thing to do. So we have Rania, she turns up and she transforms into Sphinx Relief, which is a Kamen Rider thing. Absolutely love it. So when she's using coins to transform, it's not a belt. She's using it as a device. You can hear the kind of special effects, which I absolutely love. When it's like, when you've heard stuff in like say Decade or any Kamen Rider thing, it's like Decade type thing. Love it. Absolutely love it. So they start having a fight. Logi uses different abilities with his sword and tries to fly away so that they can get a better kind of understanding and a more of a tactile thing. It's a perfectly good thing. With all of that, what happens is that Sphinx Relief chases after them and they get into one big fight at the end where they're about to use their ultimate attacks, and Logi uses the 6th element, which looks like it's a dark type. It's like an evil thing that could take over and launch one big major attack. and obviously Sphinx Relief uses the ability of her kick to attack. As they're using their abilities to finish each other off, Red steps in with the giant rowboat and kind of stops them. This then has Rania looking at going, oh my god, you're that person from the prophecy that we're going to find out. They all stop attacking, she demorphs and apologizes for her outbreak. We then lead into an entire city, and I generally was kind of surprised because I thought the forest would be smaller, but it's absolutely huge. It's like a TARDIS. Then we find out Rania has this soft side where her voice isn't really rough. It's not really kind of like, which we've previously heard. So it was kind of nice hearing that. We then hear about a prophecy on how the Red Ranger is going to come along. And Red kind of realizes that someone that he knew, which is the Sixth Ranger, actually talked about prophecies quite a lot. I absolutely loved it because I'm guessing that we're going to see her or find out that she was teleported straight there at some point and it's been a while. Absolutely love it if Red is like, oh my god, it's been like, a couple of months, but then you find out it's like 10 billion years or something like that. So not for the next episode, but the episode after that, there is a bad guy called Azir, who is the person who can turn things into sand. As normal, he has turned up at the very end of the episode randomly at the same time as the heroes and stuff. It's just one of those coincidences. But the guys say, yeah, we're going to help out. The prophecy is there. I want to at least help out. And everyone is happy about this. It kind of makes sense that the Sixth Ranger is going to be there because when you look at the wall and you see Red is there, who else would have thought that is bang on what we're going to have? It just doesn't make sense. So I think that she is there and she was either defeated or she was put to sleep or something. That would be one of my main guesses. But I'm very much looking forward to seeing if I'm right. I might read the manga and then go, oh yeah, I was right. But for now, I'm excited to find out while the anime airs. That is the episode. I think it's a really strong episode. It didn't really have much going on bar the fight, and I really wanted to see who would win. And I'm also hoping that Rania actually decides, hey, I'm going to go with you guys after this, so that they have another member of the team, because I think it would be absolutely cool. Or at least we get a new person joining them. I think it'd be absolutely awesome. But yeah, I am going to leave it there. What are your thoughts on this? What did you think about the episode? Let me know down below in the comments and let's discuss. While you're down there, why not hit the like button and subscribe, and I will check you out in the next video. I want to say a big thank you to all my Patreon supporters, and I wanted to shout out Kimono Cat. Your help goes a long way to help support the channel, and if you want to help support the channel, the links to my Patreon and channel memberships are listed below in the description.
あらあら、チャンネルをサポートしてくれてありがとうございます。チャンネル登録、高評価お願いします。以下のリンクから商品を入手することができます。